Wendy from the Ultimate HMO Success System, and in today's video I'd like to share with you 4 ways in which you can control property and yet not own it. And these are simple, fast and effective methods that many investors use when they haven't got money to buy a property and yet they still want to get the benefits of the profit from renting it out. So please like, subscribe and share this video if it's helped you. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you can get lots more updates and lots more information about how to create a cash flowing and profitable HMO business that also frees up your time. So today I'd like to share with you 4 methods that you can use to help you to buy property or control property without actually having to own it. Now, when I first discovered some of these methods, I was literally truly blown away. I couldn't believe that it was possible to use them. Now, some of them are a little bit more complex. They may take time for you to make them work. It may take time for you to understand the process to use to make them happen. But I want to just share some of those headline methods that I and many of my colleagues and my friends in the property industry have used, and we continue to use. And we continue to explore whenever we're talking to a vendor, because sometimes it's actually much better to control property rather than to own it. So what are these 4 methods? Well, the first one is lease options. Now, this gives you the option to lease a property and at the end of the term to be able to what's called exercise the option and buy the property. So let's say, for example, that you see a property and it's up for sale at £100,000. Now, it would be quite possible with a lease option, rather than buying it and putting down a 25% deposit, you could lease that property from the owner for the next, say, 3 to 5 years at, let's say, £500 a month. And in 5 years' time, you could decide to buy it. You could agree with the vendor that you would buy it in 5 years for £100,000. In the meantime, the owner's got some income and you've got time to save up for the money to be able to exercise the option. The benefit of this is that in 5 years' time, it's quite likely that that £100,000 house will actually be worth £125,000. So when you go to apply for the mortgage, the value of the property already has your deposit locked into it. This is a really clever way of buying property. The second method is rent to rent. Now, particularly if you are in the HMO market, you will have heard about rent to rent. It's a very, very popular method that's gaining momentum all the time, allowing people to take a single buy-to-let property and then rent out the individual rooms. You have to comply with HMO legislation and guidance. You have to make sure that you are adhering to the fire safety rules and regulations of your local council and getting the property licensed if it needs to be. But if you haven't got capital to start with, this too can be a very effective way of generating cash flow. Of course, you don't benefit from the capital uplift, so be aware that you may want to put some money aside to save up for your own capital investment later on. The third method is delayed completion. As you know, when you buy a property, you will have to set a date for a completion when you actually end up exchanging the papers and completing on the deal. If you were to delay this, so you may exchange on the contract but wait until you actually complete on the deal, this can give you a few months in which to do a refurb. Again, the benefit of this is about the mortgageability of that property. It allows you to buy it locked in at a certain price, to increase the value during that period of delay, and then at the end of it, when you buy the property, you've already built in some extra value by doing the refurb. It can also help with cash flow. So for example, if you've only got enough money to do the refurb, delaying the completion might mean that you can add the value to the property and then complete on it. Again, another creative method to use. And the 4th strategy is adverse possession. Now, adverse possession is a little bit more long-winded, I suppose, because you've got to give notice to the owner of the property that you intend to possess that property. This often happens with old, neglected, derelict buildings where nobody seems to be very interested in looking after it, and where perhaps it's been on the council's empty home register and nobody is looking at buying or doing anything with this property, and it's really becoming quite tumble down and in need of some TLC. Now this is again a bit of a ninja strategy, and I'd suggest that you take further advice if you're going to do this properly. But again, it's another strategy that you might not have heard of that's a powerful way of controlling property. More than anything, I want you to realise that property is a game for people who are prepared to take some risks. You've got to sometimes step out of your comfort zone and do something that maybe you wouldn't have thought about doing in your normal day-to-day job. You see, property is life-changing, and in all the years that I've been involved, I've built up a property portfolio that now sustains myself and my family and is a brilliant investment. So I'm here to share my hints and my tips and the ways that you too can build a profitable, hands-free property investment so you can do whatever you like with your life. I look forward to sharing with you very soon. Have a great day.